Hi there, it's Polly here with my friend Mr. Snoots. Yay! So, a while ago I did a review of White Star, which is a sort of a science fiction rendition of old original, edition 0 white box D&D. Okay, so I have been sent, but caveat, the publishers did send this to me. However, I'm not paid for any of this crap. A White Star compatible role-playing game called Dare the Stars. Now, this is a great little piece of work. So where White Star, it draws a lot of its inspiration from Star Wars. This one draws its inspiration from classic sci-fi of the 30s, 40s and 50s. So think Flash Gordon, think Buck Rogers, think Forbidden Planet. So this is a world where rocket ships with fins land upon their tails, as the Lord God and Robert Heinlein surely intended, where people in bubble helmeted spacesuits and ray guns in hand fight tentacled monstrosities, or have to deal with strange alien diplomats or explore weird alien worlds. The science is often a thin excuse to get people involved in an adventure, so it doesn't stand up to great scrutiny. Who gives a damn? And of course, the exercise on this one has been to keep it as compatible within the bounds with, say, original D&D as possible, missing, of course, the logical inconsistencies and sheer insanity that was all through, those original D&D rules, because there were. So much I have to drink now. Right, so system-wise, no surprises. This is a D20 old-school rules style system. You will be rolling characteristics, and they are the usual suspects: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, for some reason, and charisma. They've got some nice little things here, actually. So you can roll those straight 3d6. You can roll the 6 3d6 and then assign the numbers to the characteristics as you wish. And I quite like one they've got where just roll 18 d6 whoosh, and then match them into triple groups of 3 and put them wherever you want. Oh, and actually I really like that. It takes quite a simple, traditional D&D style system, unless you really tool it. Okay, whoosh, you rolled a bucket load of dice. Wait, I've got a few 6s in there. I'm going to group those together into 18s. I've got a few 1s. Wait, do I make myself an idiot? Do I put those 3 and put them on the intelligence because I just want to be this and that? So yeah, I quite like that. They don't mean a ton. Like in original D&D, only very high rolls and very low rolls really gave you much of a like a physical bonus on dice rolls. So it's really got to be like an 18 to get a +1. However, some characteristics will give you an experience bonus for a character if you've got it 15 or higher. So there we go. So once you've done that, of course, you are going to want to pick your character class. And the classes that they've got here are expected things, like they've got like a soldier class, but each of them has got some really nice little aspects to them. So there's a soldier class, and yes, you can use weapons and all the heavy stuff and whatever, but they've also got some interesting things, like you can assemble a fire team. If you spend a round or two assembling your fire team, when you go into action, everyone in that fire team gets an attack and defense bonus based on your level, and they get it for a number of rounds, equal to your level. So, getting your guys revved up and hut and having a plan is great. Also means you might want reserves. If you've got a second fighter, right, he's going to have his lot. As my guys kind of run out of their steam, we then hold the ground, or we're giving you the covering fire while you guys run forward and do stuff. So, okay, yeah, I like that. There is Bold Explorers, which is a really nice character class, and they're your people for exploring alien worlds and so on. One of their special abilities is if they're knocked down to 0 or negative hit points, they can do a saving roll and come back up to 1 hit point, so they can continue, they're tough, they've done this stuff before, they can continue acting and doing stuff. There are pilots and traders and all sorts. There's also the wise spacer, which is someone that's just been out here forever and just knows stuff and has seen stuff you wouldn't believe. So they actually get kind of some mystic abilities. More on those later. So there is a really nice wide variety of things. There's a crazy scientist who can fix things, but also concoct weird gizmos and so on. If you're going alien, they've got alien species suggestions in there as well, given the setting that they've given you, plus some guidelines for how to make your own. Pretty simple stuff. Now, rather charmingly, because this is D&D based, the armor is fairly simple, as in they've put kind of light, medium and heavy armors, but there are shields. There's physical shields and there are energy shields. And the energy shields only stop energy weapons. The physical shields usually only stop energy stuff. But they do give you, like, the energy shield gives you a +2 to your armor class, so it's a bit better than the usual +1 you got in old D&D. Haha. Sorry, the elephant wants some as well. But I just find that rather charming, the idea of someone like, holding off the borders on your starship and you're holding an energy shield. I think, yeah, okay, there's a certain charm to that. I'll run with that. That's the look and feel of this particular game. We do run into the same problem, I think, that White Star has. This is based on original white box D&D, so hit dice for characters are all D6, and the damage done by weapons is all D6, which I actually like. I enjoy that robust simplicity. It doesn't say it, but give all first level characters maximum hit points, for God's sakes. But here's the thing. The standard sidearm is going to be like a laser pistol. That does a d6 damage. Right, so that's enough to take someone down. A laser rifle, which is going to be the standard kind of thing all your Marini sorts are going to run around with, that does 2d6 of damage. Since a starting character is going to have 1d6 hit points, or maybe 1d6 plus 1 if they're a soldier, any hit from a rifle will just kill you, which actually, in realistic world, I don't have a problem with. If a 303 bullet plowed through my chest, I would be a deaden. But in the context of an adventure game, this is a little bit risky, particularly since you then get like ray guns, which are way more deadly than like a laser. And when you're hit with that, you've got to make a saving throw. Otherwise, all damage is doubled. So 2d6, make saving throw. Otherwise, there's 2d6 doubled. And you've got 1d6 hit points. So combat is unbelievably deadly. A weird thing, just a little side step, when we get to the Starship combat system, because they wanted Starship combats to be as easy a part of this as they were in any of these old shows. So there is a lovely, simple Starship combat system, which is largely based on the basic character concept, where you're rolling to hit the other guy depending on his sort of agility and so on, which is his armor class. But you have energy screens in that which subtract from the damage you take, and the excess goes onto the hull points. I'd almost suggest you have portable energy screens for characters, and when a damage gets through a screen, the screen becomes weaker. So what if you had a portable energy screen that absorbs 1d6 damage from any hit you take, but if any damage gets through, it goes to 1d6 minus 1, 1d6 minus 2, and then at 1d6 minus 3 it collapses. I don't know, just my suggestion. But anyway, that's what the game has. So, like I said, it's got a good little Starship combat system and vehicle combat system. Very charming illustrations all the way through. That kind of skin-tight spacesuit, bubble helmet kind of feel. When it gets to vehicles, yes, if you've got your space bike, yes, it looks more like a Vespa than a Star Wars thing, because this is where it's drawing its inspiration from. So, fine stuff. Some of the character classes, like nobles and so on, they have some kind of negotiating skills and things like that. So, obviously you can try and move things away from people shooting at each other by using those folk. And obviously, if you're full of explorers and these sorts of things, then you are probably trying pretty hard to talk, not fight. So, I guess that's your other defense against being hit by a ray gun for 4 times the damage you could possibly absorb. But equipment, pretty cool and easy. You can be android characters. Each character class has a key characteristic. If you've got that over, I think, 15, you get +5 to your experience. You also get +5, an additional +5 to your experience if your wisdom is over 15 and if your charisma is over 15. As you gain experience points, when you get to certain key sets, you will go up levels, which are different for each class, exactly like old school D&D. So, no surprises in the game mechanical structure there, because it was designed specifically to be like an echo of original Dungeons and Dragons. They've got a very nice setting that goes with this, and so they've tried to keep that feel from like Buck Rogers and these sorts of things, where yes, we've got fast and light drives and spaceships, but we're keeping the action kind of within the bounds of some known enemies and hostile races and allies and colonies and so on. So there's a bit of a kind of a political structure with some good guys and bad guys and mysteries. Think more like Babylon 5, actually, where it's kind of like a known universe with its known places and its known mystery spots. And the other thing about Babylon 5 that comes into this, which I rather like, is mysteries. The typical thing that you would find in like an old Andre Norton book or whatever was there was always the ancients, an ancient species that has once ruled the galaxy and has mysteriously vanished. So they've got these guys in there, the progenitors, and they may have kindled many of the races, which is why some of them look humanoid or what have you. But they were at war with an antithetical group of beings who are just called the shadows, and some of them may have survived. So there's kind of a creepy enemy, and the pictures that they've got of these is essentially empty spacesuits. They're occupying your tech spacesuits and so on when they need to get around. They'll pilot these around if they need to actually physically touch and operate things. There are rules in there that I'm not going to give away, but if you do damage and overpower one and tear open the faceplate, it's just empty. So I don't know. That's got kind of a bit of a sort of Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons kind of cool vibe to it, So, and of course, there is this insidious enemy trying to do stuff. Are there still progenitors around? Were there bigger plots? Have these guys just gone and they're waiting to come back? Wait, the galaxy was this. Do they want it back again? So, lots of potential. And in there they've made some evil planets with some rotten warlords, and they've got others with kind of stress on them. So, they've done a good job of doing a very brief but well-detailed little universe. Has got tons of adventure hooks in it. And then attached on this, they've got a lovely bestiary of the kind of really cool space creatures that you would find in books of that period. So you've got kind of the three-headed lilac felinoid draconic-looking creature that, lives in Venusian jungles and, not necessarily hostile, but is very territorial. And but the fur is sought after on the black market, but it's incredibly illegal to go anywhere near these things. And so again, a lot of the creatures have their hooks. There are insidious viruses and space zombies and all this sort of thing. So you have here essentially the rules are the same that you would get in White Star, but they've been tweaked, coddled, and massaged to suit not only that different kind of 30s, 40s, 50s sci-fi setting, but the kind of action that you get in those. I quite like what they said. It was like, these are like a black and white. A lot of things in these are black and white, not a lot of sort of nuances. These people are good, these people are bad. But where there's colour, the colours are garish and brilliant. So the stuff that your characters can do is like, this guy's characteristic is he's garishly really good at that. This guy's a fantastic pilot. This guy's a bold explorer. Now, the mystical abilities that come in, they are not game-shattering. So don't think kind of the typical psionics that you get in a game where you can, explode people's skulls or teleport or what have you. Although we do get some stuff like that. But they're a little bit more kind of like, I guess you'd call them Vulcan powers in a way. The character can't just fling them around in combat. You need peace and quiet to settle your mind and concentrate, and then you can stride forth and do something. And that can be things like try and settle arguments, befriend creatures, be attuned to things that are hidden, or keep going through harsh environments, physical hibernation, keep yourself going past injuries. You know, they're really useful mind powers, but they're not game shatterers. There is a list in there of strange alien powers, and that does include things like telepathy and you know, mental blasts and teleportation, these sorts of things. And they just say these are in here as weird powers that you might encounter. Who knows? Maybe there's a weird group of monks somewhere that can teach some of these. We're offering these to you to show some of the crazy stuff that might be out there, but they're not for player characters and so on, just to seize on, and you know, now my character can essentially break the game by teleporting and, you know, making the top of people's heads flip over like pancakes. So okay, but you know, you might come across an alien creature that can teleport, and you have to, you know, catch the bloody thing, or you know, that alien creature that can mesmerize you and draw you into it, or you know, space vampires of the blood asteroid, that sort of thing. So I like it. I like it. It's got a good feel to it, and I mean, I like White Star too. And this is White Star, as I said, massaged, coddled, and given some wonderful garish comic book colours to make it suit this type of gameplay. So it is an excellent effort, and it is well worth checking out, particularly if you're a fan of things like, say, the Flash Gordon movie, or the old Flash Gordon TV series, or if you're a fan of Forbidden Planet, you know, Destination Moon, those kind of classic things. This is the look and feel of the sci-fi you would be doing with that. So I think it's a sterling effort. Do go and check it out. It's up there on drive-through and so on. Mr. Snoots approved. He enjoyed it. Yeah, I'll probably be running this one because, again, because the mechanics are so easily understood, you can get people creating a character that's got some interest and colour, and you know, they make it their own very quickly. But we don't have to have like an entire session of character creation where people fight with the rules and have to, you know, cook something out. You can sit down, characters, bang, you're playing. Great, fantastic. So anyway, thank you very much for sending those to me. Look, if you're an indie game designer, by the way, and you have games and so on, I am very, very happy to have a look at them. By all means, get in touch, because it's very difficult for indie game publishers to get their material known. It's just, we can't afford to advertise, so it really is only through reviews and so on that people hear about a lot of this stuff and to find out about the meat of it, how it works, what they've done. So yeah, I'm very, very, very happy to have a look at people's work and review it here. That's largely what this channel is for. So anyway, hi from us, bye from us, bye from Mini Stag, and we shall see you around the games table sometime. Cheers everyone, look after yourselves.